Sairam, I offer myself at the divine lotus feet of our dearest Bhagawan. Sairam, and welcome to our Zone 1 conference, The Way Forward, Unity, Purity, and Divinity. This is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to meet the national leadership teams in our zone. Also a great way to get a brief sampling of the tremendous amount of activities that have been going on in our zone. And hopefully you'll get a good flavor of what's been going on and what is going to be happening. If we discussed everything that we've been doing, will literally be going on late into the evening. So of course, I'm sure we all have other things to do with this evening. I'll begin by giving an overview on Swami's organization and its relevance, followed by discussing some of the new initiatives in our zone, as well as in Prashanti. And then we'll have our 11 zonal committees introduce what they've been working on, after which we'll have the national wings discuss some of their activities. And at the very end, we should have some time for questions before we close with Aarti. So with that, let me jump right into our presentation first regarding the organization. So why do we have an organization? Why join Swami's organization? Well, we know everything Swami did was with deep, profound significance. Even a slight gesture of his would have such profound significance. So if he bothered to take time and make an organization and spend so much time in dealing with the organization, there has to be some incredibly important reason for him to start an organization. So why did he create an organization? Well, there's many reasons, but the two that I can think of are, one, it's an opportunity to serve the avatar. Not all of us have the opportunity to work in his university, to serve him as a professor, to work in his institutions, to work in his hospitals. But we can all have an opportunity to join his organization and work and serve in his organization, because serving his organization is no different than serving him. And the organization is a testing ground. It's a workshop, just like Prashanti Nilayam. It's a workshop. It's a testing ground. He gives us those situations that we need to develop and grow spiritually. And that's not easy. And the same thing with the organization. That doesn't mean it's always easy to be a part of the organization. We have challenges, many challenges within the organization. And again, this is not by accident. This is by divine direction. He's designed it that way. Everyone at every level of the organization, we constantly face challenges. And these challenges are given for our own spiritual growth. There's always going to be differing views. We all have our egos. We all think we're right all the time. So there's always going to be differing views. And Swami tells us we need to listen, we need to understand, and we need to adjust. And of course, the guiding principle above all is love and the principle of unity. We need to be together. Nothing would please Swami more in any of our activities when he saw that we were united as a team. And of course, sacrifice. The principle of sacrifice is very, very important. What are we willing to give up for the good of everyone else? So over the decades, there have been many challenges, and many individuals and groups, for one reason or another, left Prashanti Nilayam. They didn't want to face those challenges. And in 1961 is when Swami announced he was going to have an organization. And he said, I'm launching a Seva Samiti. Those who become members of this Samiti and perform selfless service will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Not just them, but also their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. However, the test will be severe. I will bear witness to the number of people who withstand the test and emerge victorious. So how do we view some of the challenges we have? Some of the challenges such as the recent reshuffling and arrangements of Swami's organization. Well, one way to view it is, well, this is unfair to me. I am a victim and a bystander. Or I don't need to understand. I trust others to decide what is best. Or I'm sick of Swami's organization. It's nothing but grief. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. So what is the recommended way to view? How do you think Swami would want us to view these challenges? Well, as with anything, there's a mature way to look at things and an immature way. So what is the way Swami want us to view these things? Well, he'd want us to realize that all is his will, and realize that everything that possibly can happen is only for our own good. To realize that every devotee is being tested. To realize that each of us should care about the organization that he took so much time and effort to develop. And that each of us should carefully examine all the issues and to use our God-given discrimination. And we need to consider what is best for the long term. We need to sacrifice our own desires and needs for the greater overall need. So the organization had a restructuring. This is nothing new. Swami did this frequently from 1961 when he announced it. Every few years, Swami would change the organization. He constantly reshuffled and changed both the personnel and the structure of the organization. So change is nothing new with Swami. The one constant is the organization has always been rooted in Prashanti Nilayam. Once we had the Mahasamadhi and we had no more access to this physical form, none of this was expected by anybody. And it took time. It took many years to adjust and for each of us to go within and try to get the answers from within, especially on an organizational level. And so it became clearly apparent that without that physical form there was a need for more transparency within the organization, a need for more collaboration, a need for more checks and balances. And thus was the formation of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council. And again, if you look at the tree, it's a beautiful metaphor for Swami's organization. It's rooted in Prashanti Nilayam. It's all one entity. The leaves are all the centers. A leaf that's in and of itself, functioning on its own, not connected to the rest of the organization, will wither away. It needs to be connected to the organization, and it needs to provide life to the organization. The photosynthesis occurs in the leaf, and that nourishes the entire body. So it's a give and take of one entity, and it's a beautiful metaphor for the organization. And one thing we always have to remember is the lineage from 1961 of the organization through all the restructurings. The one constant is the connection to Prashanti Nilayam. And so this Sri Sathya Sai Global Council is not a new organization. It is the original official organization that has just been restructured because it is maintaining that original connection to Prashanti Nilayam. We're one family under one umbrella, the Central Trust, the Organization of India, the Worldwide Organization, all in one family, all with fair representation, all working in transparency with checks and balances. What could be fairer than that? So what have been the guiding principles since this restructuring has occurred? And you can see this on the website out of Prashanti Nilayam. To unify, to strengthen, to supplement, to encourage, and to embrace the Sri Sathya Sai organizations worldwide, and to firmly establish their connection to Prashanti Nilayam. The Global Council is a decentralized structure. We want the centers to have the most importance. Everything happens at the center level. The center is the focal point. But again, the center is not an island operating in and of itself. It's a leaf connected to the tree. So the structure, of course, everything is contained within Swami, and Swami is within everything. So we have the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council. We're divided around the world in various zones. We're Zone 1. And there's countries within the zones, regions within the countries, and then, of course, the Sai Center. So every country has a national council, and the national council, the purpose of the national council, and this is directly coming from Swami with the original charter that Swami directed to have how the organization functions that he gave in the 80s, is to provide accreditation for the centers. That's the role of the national council. To assist, support, encourage, and inspire by example all the centers. To develop and conduct orientation programs, leadership development training programs, anything that helps connect centers to each other, helps all of us inspire each other and connect back to each other and to Prashanti Nilayam. And that involves submitting quarterly reports, annual reports, to the zonal chair, who then submits it to the executive council. So what is the framework within the center? Well, regarding membership, it's important that we realize the different distinctions. A member, let me launch this forum. A member is somebody that really commits to be part of Swami's organization. This is a commitment that you make with Swami, and this is done at the center level. A person registers at the center president or chair is the one that collects and keeps track of the membership at the center. And each person should resolve to sign a form, sign a commitment, make a commitment, an affirmation to Swami. Swami, I want to be part of your center. I want to serve the center. I want to advance my own spiritual growth. So moving on with the presentation, every member should have a signature and a commitment to Swami, that they want to be part of the organization that he started. And the goal of that is nothing other than our own personal spiritual growth. And the members are the ones that are involved in the decision making at the center. And they're the ones that are serving the center, putting on the activities. Then you have a participant. Participant is someone that may want to be on the mailing list. They're interested. They may want to come a couple of times a year during festivals. They want to grow spiritually, but yet they don't really have the resolve to make that commitment that a member does. So they don't need to register as a full member. They can just be asked to be placed on a mailing list, and they can show up whenever they want and take full advantage of all of the activities put on by the membership and officers. And then we have a guest. And of course, at any Sai center, anyone is welcome. All people are welcome. Of course, as long as they work in harmony and unity and are not causing disruptions, all are welcome to any of our functions. So communication is always important within any organization. So one of the things we have that really enhances our communication is the website, and our media team and our website team are just doing an incredible job. The original website we had, they literally put it up within days. And now they've been working very hard over the past couple of months to revamp the website. And I wanted to take a minute or so just to demonstrate this website. So this is officially being launched today. So you are all welcome. All you have to do is Google your country name and Global Council, Sai Global Council, and you'll easily find this zonal website. So initially, this format is for our zone, and hopefully the countries will follow and adapt some of the things that we have. So let me see if I can demonstrate, put on my glasses to see a little bit better, demonstrate some of the features on this website. So we have an About section where you can, this is geared for both newcomers and existing members. If you want to learn about Swami, his life, his message, his works, the organization, frequently asked question, they're all available here, a little snippet. And then when you click into that area, you'll learn more about that particular topic. Then when we go to the activities section, we have information about membership. We have information about all the wings, the service, the devotion. Everything is organized very nicely. We have a program section that explains the various announcements we have, a calendar of events, highlighting some of the programs with more details. And then we have a link to the website coming out of Prashanti Nilayam that talks about all the programs that are going on around the world in all of Global Council. And then if we can go back, let me go back to the original page. Sai Kishore, I don't know if you can help me. Thank you. And then the other thing we just launched is a Find a Center. Many of you have been asking for this feature. So this is all the centers available in Global Council. You can search by country, you can search by province or state, by city. You can put in your own address and select the mile radius from your home. What are the nearest centers? And then the list is below the map that gives you all the search results. So it's a wonderful, wonderful feature. We have our announcements that are now searchable. So you can search the announcements based on various filters and criteria, whether they're devotional announcements, announcements regarding service, the education. We can easily find announcements, and they're always going to be kept current and up to date. We have an FAQ section. We have FAQs geared for newcomers. FAQs geared for existing members, and then some global council particularly related FAQs. We have a contact area where any question anybody has can be directed to the appropriate person as well. And then going back to the home page, I encourage you all to take your time and go through this. And let me go back to the presentation. In the last minute or so, I just want to cover a couple of more slides. And so we talked about communication. We have our social media outlets. We're also going to be sending weekly updates. Rather than haphazardly getting messages, we'll save them, and every week you'll be getting a message. A quick message regarding outside organizations. Again, everyone is invited to attend. However, certain special functions where seating may be restricted, we may require registration. We definitely want members and officers to be the ones taking the lead in organizing events, although everyone can attend. Same thing for teachers. You have to be registered with Global Council to teach in Global Council. There's no such thing as joint ventures or collaboration with unofficial side groups. Young adults, critical part of our organization. We need to trust them. We need to respect them. We need to give them responsibility. As elders, we need to really treat them as peers, and vice versa. The youths need to live up to that trust and responsibility. They need to respect the elders and learn from their wisdom. We need to give young adults plenty of opportunities to develop their interests. Think about it, having them give talks at center meetings, leading study circles on practical topics. And of course, everything the young adults do, as with anything all of us do, it should be based upon Swami, his values, his teachings as the basis. Coming up in Prashanti, we have our Center Leaders Conference, July 4th and 5th. All young adults are welcome. All officers in Global Council, either the past term or the current term, are welcome and encouraged to join. Centennial Celebrations is going to be a big event, the 100th year of the advent of Bhagwan's avatar, year-long celebrations. And I want all of you to give input. What do you think we should do? Prashanti Nilayam has already told us they welcome us, they welcome our suggestions, they want us all to come and visit during this wonderful time. So with that, I want to turn it over to the rest of the program.